Hi friends, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie and Eloise, welcoming you to the last plan with me for the year in this planner. I'm using a PinkPlannerShop kit called Hanukkah Honey. I am not Jewish, but a lot of my friends are Jewish, and this year Hanukkah, the first night of Hanukkah fell on Christmas Day, and the last night of Hanukkah was January 1st. So I saw this art and I was like, you know what? I never do anything other than Christmas. And I think I did a lot of Christmas spreads this year. So let's do a Hanukkah spread instead. And I was really drawn to this art. I thought it was beautiful. I love the color scheme. I loved all the different elements of it. It was very different from what I'd been doing previously. So I picked up this really amazing bundle that Hannah released called Hanukkah. I decided to do it in blue holo because I love blue holo, and I thought it it looked really well. So these are just her regular, um, all the things that come with her regular bundles there. I was trying to show off the blue holo bundle, but you can see the menorahs and the gelt for the washi, and then I really love these overlays. I think there were a lot of Happy Hanukkah ones. I think there could have been more creative um, quotes for Hanukkah. Um, and then, of course, there are the Stars of David underneath that looked really, really pretty as the underlays. So those were the materials that I was working with. And just to give you a sense of where I was, if you haven't been watching my Plan with Me's, at this point, I was still in New York City visiting my family for Christmas. Um, I am covering, the days I'm covering for this are December 26th through December 29th. So it was actually only 4 days, but I did a lot in those 4 days. And so I really wanted to just put everything down. The blue halo went well with this kit. A darker blue might have popped a little bit more, but when I just love blue halo and I'll use it whenever I get the chance. So I liked all the art in this kit. It was really hard to like pick and choose which ones I was going to do. I decided I wanted to use the full scene on the right hand side of the page. At this point, I wasn't even sure how many days I was devoting or 8 columns I was devoting to each day. I'm sorry that the camera is so shaky. My cat kept knocking it around. And this is actually the last plan with me that I'm doing using this camera setup. I got a new camera setup to hold my phone with a ring light so I can actually film these things not necessarily in daylight. And I think that will help. Um, yeah, I really like the holiday happy holidays. That was really clever. So yeah, this week was really sorry, that's my husband texting me. Um, this was a fun week. I mostly spent it with family. I didn't really get to do like a ton of New York things. I was hoping, New York and and the holidays, there's all these things you can do. You can go see the tree, you can go window shopping. There are restaurants that I love, and I really thought I was gonna be able to do so much more, and because it was so cold and I wasn't feeling well and my parents were not really up for doing a ton of adventure things, we ended up spending a lot of time at home, which is fine. Like, it is what it is. Um, but honestly, like, I feel like this trip was so short, and I did as much as I could in these last few days, but, oh, it was hard. Um I really like that fashion tall box. I thought she looked really cute. Um, so I decided to switch out the full box here for this little girl hugging her grandma. It made me think of my friend Karen's daughter Josie, who is super sweet, and um, so I wanted to include that in there. Um, and then I'm not sure what these. It's like the honey, and I'm not sure what they're supposed to represent. I know that the latkes and the smoked salmon are in that second page there. But I'm not 100% sure what those are. So if anyone knows, please tell me. Um, yeah. So I had all these pretty glitter headers to go with in various shades of blue and royal blue and dark blue. But yeah, these were fun. These were super fun to set up. Um, so I really tried my best to get as much done as I could. But I also wanted to spend a lot of time with my parents because I never get to see them as much anymore since it's hard for them to travel and it's hard for me to travel because of my schedule. So I prioritized a lot of time with them, and I'm not sorry I did it. So the 26th started off, it was Boxing Day, which is a traditional gift giving day when the rich elite would give presents to their servants. And that's why it's called Boxing Day. Um, we traditionally spend Boxing Day in my family doing absolutely nothing, reveling in our Christmas foods and desserts and presents and just relaxing. But we had a very active Boxing Day this day. Oh, so you can see I'm just laying down the overlays now. I think there were 3 different Happy Hanukkah overlays, but that one says Live, Love, Latka. Um, let's see. The one I put on top there says Let's Get Lit. And then I used one of the Happy Hanukkahs on top. And then it says Feed me latkes and tell me I'm pretty. And then Peace, Love, and Miracles. And then that one also says Happy Hanukkah with a Star of David. And then down there was a 4th Hanukkah one. So, and then Love and Light, which I thought was beautiful. So I mean, I know that Hanukkah is several days long, and so maybe that's why she had so many Happy Hanukkahs in there, but I feel like there could have been more, a variety of quotes than were actually in there. Um, okay, so this is me just adding extra glitz and glam. I didn't have overlays to match every single thing that I use there, and so I just used some of the deco from the kit to foil it up. All right. So going through the day by day, the first thing I marked was that it was Boxing Day, so I had to have a cat hopping out of the present, obviously. And I used a script from the bundle to mark that I had the day off because it was technically a Thursday. My father had also asked for the week off while I was there, and I really appreciated that because he's still working, which we're trying to get him to retire. So, um, and I'll take lobbying from anywhere at this point. We did have some cinnamon rolls for breakfast, and then I had bought my parents a new coffee maker. It was the same model as the one they had before, but the one they'd had for like 8 years, and it started to sound really loud. So I thought they deserved something new. So I got them a new coffee maker, and I set it up on Thursday morning. Then we got up early and we went out to the Alamo Draft House to see A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan biopic. And that was really special for me to go with my parents because my parents actually went to Cafe Wa and spent time in the village during that time. They didn't actually get to see Bob Dylan live during that time, although we did see him live about 15 years ago at Barclays Center, and his voice is totally different now. But it was really cool to see a legend live. So then we went to Target afterwards, and my mom kind of needed to do some shopping on her own. So I took my dad downstairs to McNally Jackson Bookstore, and we found the paperback book that the biopic had been based on. It was called Dylan Goes Electric. So I bought that for them, and then we took a cab home, and I played a game called Monopoly Scrabble, which is exactly what you think it is. It's a mashup of the 2 games, and you can play the whole thing in under an hour, which is kind of amazing. So it was really fun. We played it several times during our trip, and I actually got that for my parents for Christmas. So that was really fun. For dinner, I went to Brooklyn to see my friends from high school that I hadn't seen in 2 years, and we found out that one of them is pregnant, yay! Which is really exciting, so I was very, very happy to hear that, and it was so great to catch up with them. I We were missing one person, but, um, it was just such a nice moment to share with them, and it made me miss Brooklyn so much when I got to see them. So on That was all Thursday. On Friday, I got up and had breakfast with my dad. I had to go to the bank because they have been sending paper statements to my mother-in-law for months, and they told me that I had to go in, and I had a bad experience there. I didn't get my issue resolved, and I'm kind of really frustrated with them right now. So, ugh. Um, Moving on to better things, I did play Monopoly Scrabble with my parents again. I said meal prep on here because I had the stickers to match that, but really what I did was heated up our leftovers from Christmas Day dinner, and we watched Home Alone. So that is from Planet Hannah, and that was a compilation I had made back in October, before I knew I was going to be using blue spreads. So then we went for a walk, and we our intention was to go to a bar called Sunken Harbor, which is right above a restaurant called Gage and Toller. And when we got there, the line to get in was out the door. So we were put on a wait list, and the wait list was an hour long, which was kind of a bummer, especially because my mom isn't really great standing for long periods of time. So we got to sit at the Gage and Tollner bar, and that was really fun. We had a great time waiting there. I have the most incredible eggnog, which I'm not an eggnog person, but it was delicious. We had a really nice bartender who was super sweet to us and treated us so well. So, yes, that was a nice detour. I really enjoyed that. Then we did get to go to Sunken Harbor, which is one of my favorite bars in New York City. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want people to go there and ruin it. But afterwards, it was amazing. It was really fun. I was still feeling sick, and I did have to take some medication. Um, so on Saturday, the 28th, it was my friend Chloe's birthday. Happy birthday, Chloe. Traditionally known as Chloe Miss. This year it was Chloe Christmagamus. Um, so it was really fun. I didn't get to see her on her birthday, but um, wishing her happy birthday was very nice. I got up super early, and it says bath on the sheet, but I actually took a shower. I don't know why they don't include shower scripts. It just says bath, which is weird. Um, but I'm not one to waste stickers, so I used it anyway. I made everybody coffee. That script is from Rabbit Hole Crafts, or excuse me, that icon is from Rabbit Hole Crafts. The script is from the bundle. And then we decided to drive upstate to visit my parents' friends, who are also like my second set of parents. They live in Carmel, New York, which is about an hour and a half away. So while we were driving up there, I got some gas for the car because it's actually easier to get gas when you're on the highway than it is to get gas in Brooklyn. The gas stations are really crowded and usually in the middle of a busy street. So we spent time with Rick and Elaine, um, and that was really fun. It's always special to see them around the holidays. I had to drive everybody back to Brooklyn, and that was a little scary because it was really dark and there were no lights and it was really cold, but we made it back, and we watched the beginning of Home Alone 2 at my mother's request. So then on Sunday, I decided that we needed to sleep in. Or I didn't decide it, I just did it. I thought sleeping in would be really important on this day. Um, I did make cinnamon rolls again for breakfast, just the last final ones that I had. And then this was a tough day because I knew it was going to be my last day spending the day with my parents. And my dad's health has not been the best. So I had like a heart to heart with my mom for about an hour and a half, just talking through some of the things that have been going on recently, and just trying to talk through ways that I thought we could work together and make things better. but it was kind of hard. Um, and eventually, like, I was so in my own feelings that I did just kind of lose it. Um, so that script is from the bundle, and then that um, burned out gingerbread man is from Stick with the Plan Co. I haven't put it on there yet, but I'm about to. And then after that, we just spent time watching TV together. I forget exactly what we watched. We finished Home Alone 2. Um, and I think we watched a couple of other things. And we listened to Bob Dylan because we had just seen that movie. I spent a little bit of time packing and just cleaning my room, making sure that everything was the way it was when I got there, maybe a little better than when I got there. Um, we did play one more game of Monopoly Scrabble, and right at the end of Monopoly Scrabble, I just started crying. Like, I could not stop crying. It was really hard because I had this moment where I was like, this could be the last Christmas we all have together. And it was just, I don't think that's going to happen. But once you get that feeling in your brain, you can't really get rid of it. And I was just so emotional. And so my parents were being really sweet, but it was hard. And I was traveling by myself. My husband is going to stay in Brooklyn and for another week because he could. He didn't have to be there for this doctor's appointment, and I didn't want him to not have time with his family. So I did travel by myself. I took a cab to JFK, and the place that I went to pick up my bag because I gate checked it. They didn't have our bags, and then all of a sudden they did, and so I grabbed this bag. I thought it was mine. I got halfway to the car rider line only to realize it wasn't my bag. So I ran back really, really quickly, put it back on the carousel. My bag finally came back around, and then it worked. But we had been taxiing around for an hour once we landed. I was exhausted, and we didn't get home until super duper late. I think it was like close to midnight, and I had to be up at 6 a.m. for my doctor's appointment the following day. So I was pretty tired. Um, but all in all, that was my week. I'm just showing you the last pieces of this kit that I had left. And as you can see, I print all the pages and I used a lot, but I had quite a bit of stuff left over. So I'm definitely saving all of the blue hollow scripts because I can use them again. I ended up moving that deco onto another one of the sheets so that I could save it. This is the full spread. I love how this came out. I'm obsessed. I love the blues. I love the blue hollow. I loved it. It's so different. So this is the last plan with me that I'm doing in this planner. I'm switching planners for 2025. I do have a lot of leftover space there, but I was already mid-January by the time I ended things. So I'm not going to do a full flip through of this just yet, but that video is coming, but you can see how hard I worked to make this planner work for me, and I really love it, and I'm glad that I used it. I talked about maybe ripping that 2025 year at a glance out, but then I realized I didn't have to because it's included in my new planner. So I'm just going to show you what my new planner looks like. I am switching out of the spiral bound format into a ring binder A5W format. This is an Aura Estelle that I picked up a while ago, and I'm finally going to get to use her. She's pretty. She's beauty. She's grace. um, so you can see her side by side with my other planner. The pages on the inside are really the same, but anyway, I can't wait for 2025. Please stick around. I have lots more good stuff coming, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Take care, everyone.